leader. This is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Wyoming is getting into the nuclear power business with a $1 billion Natrium Advanced Nuclear Power Plant. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon announcing that the state is partnering with tech mogul Bill Gates' nuclear power company to build the state's first nuclear reactor plant. The project features a 345 megawatt sodium-cooled fast reactor with molten salt-based energy storage. According to Reuters, that could boost the system's power output to 500 megawatts during peak power demand.
Wyoming is #1 in net exporter of energy. This first-of-its-kind nuclear facility maintains Wyoming's position as a leader in energy. It will also be built and operated in a manner that supports our commitment to protecting and enhancing our wildlife and our environment.
We'll use a site that currently hosts a coal plant that already has connections to the grid and a highly skilled, well-trained workforce to build and operate our reactor. We will build Natrium in a community that knows what it takes to support a major energy project.
Officials at the event said the exact location of that plant will be announced at the end of the year. Critics warn that advanced reactors such as the one proposed in Wyoming come with higher risks, including becoming a higher target for terrorists seeking to build crude nuclear weapons. Well, Billings Mayor Bill Cole says he's focusing on the positive. He says the state of the city is very strong and our economy has bounced back from COVID-19 in a way that he doesn't think anyone anticipated. Just a year ago, we were fighting over toilet paper, baking soda, and flour, and now the Fed is predicting a 6.7% growth rate. As Q2's Janelle Slade reports, Cole is also looking to address the problems.
Good bordering on excellent. That's how Mayor Bill Cole started his State of the City address. But by the end of the Billings Chamber event, Cole changed his wording just a little by saying Billings is fabulous, but faces challenges. Those challenges include a big increase in crime with a goal to announce a $6.4 million safety mill levy in the next couple weeks. Issues of drug crimes going up, homelessness, plans to invest in mental health, and an overtaxed court system.
The reality is that we have a crime problem, both with violent crime and with property crime, driven largely by substance abuse and drug addiction, in particular methamphetamines. And so that drives 70 to 80% of our crime. That's quite a heavy lift, but we need to respond by giving our police department the resources that they need to combat that crime, and also our prosecutors, also our municipal court. So there's a lot that we can do to bring down the problem of crime in Billings.
Cole also focused on some community positives. For instance, some new city buses, airport construction almost complete, and they're soon to break ground on the Skyline Trail. And with the addition of the West End Reservoir, the city's emergency water supply goes from 5 to 10 hours to 4 months. So the city's biggest cheerleader will remain positive, but he does acknowledge we have some issues. In Billings, Janelle Slade, MTN News.
Thanks, Janelle. The mayor also encouraged people to get the COVID-19 vaccine as Yellowstone County's rate is behind the national average. Montana man has been indicted on federal hate crime and firearms charges. According to court documents, 44-year-old John Russell Howald of Basin is charged with violating the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act. The incident alleges that on March 22nd of last year in Basin, Howald attempted to injure a person because of their actual and perceived sexual orientation by discharging a firearm into their house. Howald then stated that he wanted to, quote, get rid of the lesbians and gays. The offense does include an attempt to kill the victim. Howald is scheduled for an arraignment on June 29th in Great Falls, and if convicted, could face up to life in prison on that hate crime charge. Well, stroke patients in Billings sometimes have to travel to Denver for a life-saving procedure called interventional stroke treatment. Q2's David J. has more on Billings Clinic's announcement of plans for a $3.2 million facility.
I ended up being parked north of Rimrock Road. I have no idea how I got there. I do remember the EMT person, how kind he was. He said, "You're having a stroke." And it was the first time that I heard the stroke word in those 2 hours for all the people that helped me. And then it clicked that that was the first time I realized that there was something wrong. I really just thought I was really tired.
John Roberts talks about suffering a stroke on February 22nd. Doctors had him flown to Swedish Medical Center in Colorado, just south of Denver.
It's really weird. I never did have any anxiety, but when I came out of surgery, I felt so good. You know, I have no side effects. It's an amazing procedure.
It's also attributed to the staff here.
To help patients like John Roberts, Billings Clinic is bringing in a new machine and a new facility that will save time and potentially save lives.
We're getting state-of-the-art equipment that is going to enable us to perform interventional treatment in a timely fashion to prevent disability and death from stroke. This is an amazing opportunity given that there is no piece of equipment like this within several hundred miles of Billings.
What we call interventional stroke treatment. Send a small catheter up into the brain, into the clot that's blocking an artery causing the stroke, and remove that clot. It's an incredible treatment. It saves lives, it prevents disability.
From the bottom of our hearts to every donor who has given to our organization and saying, you know, we trust you to do what's best and what you need the most with our gift. We say thank you to them.
There's a lot of pluses for this community to have this kind of program here.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Thanks, David. A doctor trained in therapy will arrive in July, and the facility will be ready sometime after that on the bottom floor of what has been the radiology suite. As Billings students close in on the start of the summer break, more students than ever will have to head back for summer classes. They must now make up for pandemic-related learning losses. Q2's Mitch Legge has more details from the superintendent.
After some Billings students struggled with their classwork over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, Billings School District 2 will offer summer school to a wider range of ages than it ever has before, offering classes from kindergarten all the way through high school. Class is out for the summer this Friday, but about 1 week later, summer school will start up and run from June 14th through the 22nd. Billings School Superintendent Greg Upham said the goal with the kindergarten through 8th grade summer school classes is to have them regionalized to buildings around town, have transportation from buses, and have class sizes no larger than 15. Kindergarten through 5th grade summer school will focus on reading and math, while middle school students will study English, math, and science. Students will be served breakfast and a snack. High school students will be offered credit recovery courses similar to years previous, where students can retake core classes that are required for graduation, like math, English, or government. The summer classes will be funded with federal COVID-19 relief money. Upham said the district received about $54 million in total this year. On the horizon for students next year, there won't be a remote learning platform offered by the Billings schools, and Upham said that masks will very likely be optional for students and staff next year. But at the close of a school year that's been anything but normal, Upham said he was proud of staff and the community for helping keep schools open during the pandemic.
I think a lot of people feel really good that SD2 was able to stay open the entire year. We're proud of that. We're tired. Our remote students did well. Our remote staff did very well. I'm just extremely proud of our staff and our students in this community. I think we really did some good work.
Upham said the federal COVID-19 relief money should last into next summer in 2022, so the district can offer a similarly robust summer school program. In Billings, Mitch Legge, MTN News.
Thank you, Mitch. Upham added that high school graduations went off in Billings last weekend without a hitch, and it was nice to see a full Metro Park celebrating the graduates this year. All right, turning to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh in the Weather Center, and the high heat's already arrived. We're talking records in some places already.
That's right, especially in central and western Montana. Take a look at the map today. Highs were up into the 80s and 90s. Keep in mind, low 70s is about typical for this time of the year. Check out 93 in Jordan and Glasgow today. They were among the stations that had record highs. Cut Bank, Helena, Glasgow, Jordan, all with records. There'll probably be a couple more reports that'll come in tomorrow. Billings, Sheridan, Livingston, Miles City, all with the potential of record high temperatures by later in the day. Western Montana, we're looking at a heat advisory into effect for tomorrow, and by Friday, we're concerned about wildfire starts across northeastern Montana, where it's been especially dry. We'll take a closer look at the forecast details coming up in just a little bit.
Well, hearing explosions from Malmstrom Air Force Base is not uncommon, but what do those explosions look like and why are they important? MTN's Coulter Anstad went to the base today to find out.
This small crater here next to me at the explosives range on Malmstrom Air Force Base is what's left after demonstrating the detonation of about 5 pounds of explosives. This is just one of the many things the base's EOD team can do.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Wednesday morning, a small cannon fired a projectile into a cardboard box at the explosives range at Malmstrom Air Force Base.
This shot was simulating disrupting, let's say, a circuit or something for an that. We'll use that for opening up suspicious items or to gain access into a bag or a box so we can further interrogate whatever it is with our robot.
The EOD team,
EOD is Explosives Ordnance Disposal,
is the military equivalent of a civilian bomb squad.
We have various mission sets to cover all of the normal bomb squad requirements, anything somebody might run into out in town, but we also cover all military munitions as well.
The cannon cardboard box scenario was the second of 2 scenarios the EOD team demonstrated. The first, and the one that left a crater in the ground, was an explosion the equivalent of about 10 sticks of dynamite.
This is going to be replicating the large explosions that people may hear, so we're right at what our comfortable limit is, non-emergency. So part of our home station role is to continue training for various mission sets, including what we may encounter when we deploy. So that's where some of our other training, including the large explosion training, may come into play.
A noisy and dangerous, but very important job. To learn more about the equipment the base's EOD team uses, check out this story on our website. In Great Falls, Colter Anstad, MTN News.
All right, still to come on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2. Montana's governor urging the Department of Justice to investigate the U.S. meatpacking industry. We'll tell you why in tonight's Montana Ag Report. And in sports, we'll ride the rails at Red Lodge, where a new skate park has kids and adults dropping in.